Hey there, folks. How you doing today? Welcome back to the channel. Please bear with any background racket that you might hear throughout this production. We're on location where life happens, and sometimes there's stuff going on out there that can be heard in here. Today, in particular, it's April the 8th, 2024. We had the total eclipse over Texas earlier today. We really couldn't see it because of the thunderstorm outside. There was a heavy cloud cover, but it got really dark for a few minutes, and the animals all started acting up. So you might hear them carrying on out there in the background. While we are on the subject of things that you shouldn't look at because they can hurt your eyes, we've got a couple of very bright flashlights out here today, and both of them have a strobe mode, which we will be demonstrating on the video. So if you are sensitive to strobe light effects, just be advised that they are going to occur in this presentation. Now, moving on into it, it seems like we were just on here a couple of months ago pitching one of Smith & Wesson's new tactical flashlights. Well, grab a snack and a frosty beverage and sit back and enjoy another video on a Smith & Wesson tactical flashlight. Now, I know you might be thinking, Jay, why on earth would I want to watch another video on a Smith & Wesson tactical flashlight? Well, what if I sweeten the pot? What if I told you that the flashlight we're going to be reviewing here today has a handful of interesting features, including one very unique feature that will come to the benefit of one of you later in the video. That's right. Hidden in this production, like an Easter egg, will be the instructions on how one of you can win this flashlight and all of the kit that comes with it. The light that we are reviewing here today is the Smith & Wesson M&P Officer RXP, and as the name implies, it is marketed towards police, public safety officials, security personnel, firefighters, folks that wear a big heavy belt full of tools for a living. It features a high-output Cree XPL HD V5 LED, whatever that means. It's very bright, suffice it to say. It features a Type 3 mil-spec hard-coat anodized aluminum construction with a recessed tail switch that does have a momentary on feature. It also has 3 different light modes with 4 different programmable settings, which we will be demonstrating later in the video. The RXP has a maximum output of 1062 lumens, and it is powered by a rechargeable 18650 battery, which is included. While we're discussing things that are included with the flashlight, it also comes with not 1, but 2 USB charging stations. That is really convenient if you are using this professionally. You can have either one on your desk and one in your vehicle, or one in your personal vehicle and one in your work vehicle. It gives you a little bit of options there. You don't have to worry about taking it with you if you're out on patrol. It also comes with a 360-degree adjustable retention holster that is compatible with belts up to 2 inches wide, or as we in the industry would call them, a duty belt. Let me demonstrate that for you real quick. We'll put the flashlight in the holder, which will accommodate belts of varying widths. And you can spin it around to whatever direction you want it to be in so that it fits comfortably on your kit. More on that later. While we're on the subject of the chargers, real important, especially if you're like me and you have trouble reading instructions. There's a couple of charging contacts on the back of this flashlight. There are a couple of charging contacts on this charger. When you pull the flashlight down onto the contacts, you'll notice that it blinks a few times to tell you, hey, I'm sitting where I need to be. But it doesn't stop there. You must press the button on the tail switch to activate the charging. If you don't, it won't charge. Ask me how I know. This one happens to be fully charged at the moment, so we're going to put this away so that we don't knock it over in the rest of the production. Now, for comparison, I have the Smith & Wesson M&P Delta Force MS. This is the 2x132 flashlight that we reviewed a couple of months ago. There's the thumbnail. I'll put a link to it down in the description for you. Similar, but very different. The Delta Force MS flashlight came with 2 CR123 batteries. I didn't even bother removing them from the package yet because I like to run rechargeables in these because those are expensive and they don't last a real long time. The rechargeable ones that they sell on Amazon for camera batteries work really good just in case you have one of these or a Surefire 6P or something like that. that's the way to go with batteries. They work really well for a long time, albeit they're probably not 100% as bright as these are, but they're still really bright. But again, this flashlight is out here for comparison today. You'll notice here, size-wise, they are close. The RXP that we're reviewing today has a little bit more length as well as ever so slightly more girth than the other flashlight.
That's what she said.
That's because it has that 18650 battery, which is a little bit bigger around than the CR123s. Now, it also, I didn't weigh them, but it's also heavier. The MS flashlight has 3 different modes. I'll show you those right now. It has high, low, and strobe. And this flashlight is designed that whatever mode you used it in last is the mode that is going to come back on in. So now you'll notice it's still in strobe mode. And if I wait a second or two before I press the button again, when I reactivate it, it will be in strobe mode. And if that's what you're looking for, that's great. I think I mentioned before in the other video that depending on what you're doing, having it return to the mode that you last hit it in is a big plus. You just have to know that that is one of the limitations of that flashlight. The other one here has 3 modes that are very similar to what we just showed you there. It has high, low, and strobe. Now, the difference is when I pick it back up, it's going to be in high, then low, then strobe. Wait a couple of seconds, high, low, strobe. So you'll notice that where this flashlight returns to the last mode you used it in, the RXP does not. The RXP has its programmed setting, and it always starts off in the first mode of that programmed setting. Now, those are user adjustable. There's a series of presses you can put on the tail cap to change it. I mentioned a giveaway earlier where you were talking about the RXP in that giveaway. So I'm going to tell you now how you can win it, but first I'm going to tell you why I decided to give it away. The 2 flashlights are both really good. I've carried them both extensively for the last couple of months. And while the feature set on the RXP is a little bit nicer than the feature set on the MS model, I tend to find myself carrying the MS model simply because it fits a little better in the pocket on the side of my pants that's made to hold a flashlight. The difference in diameter on these is very little, but the RXP model is ever so slightly thicker. It's a little bit longer, and it just doesn't fit well in the pocket of my work pants. So because of that, because it's easier to carry, it's easier for me to use the Delta Force model. So I decided, you know what, there's somebody out there watching this that needs this one. And because of that, I'm going to tell you right now how you can win it. We have another channel. We have our Rumble channel. We set it up as a backup last year and a half ago when YouTube started messing around with us with channel strikes. Most of you don't know about it. Most of you aren't over there. And I realize some of you are, and I thank you for it. If you will jump over to my Fed Up J. Lewis Rumble channel, I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can find it a little easier. Subscribe to that channel and send me a screenshot via email to the email address you see right there right now. I will put your name in Willie Nelson's hat. And on the 16th of April, I will do a drawing, and whoever's name comes out of the hat, I'll contact you via email, coordinate with you for an address, and I will ship that to you at no cost to you. So that will be my way of saying thanks to the loyal people who watch this content. And the 4 different programmable settings on the RXP go as follows. It is high, low strobe, low, high strobe, high, low, or just high. So depending on your application or what you need it for at the moment, being able to change the programmable settings on the flashlight is kind of a nice thing. The RXP has a significantly higher MSRP than the MS model did that we tested a couple of months ago. This one, I believe, was $90. The RXP is $140. So what do you get for that extra $50? Well, you get a rechargeable flashlight with longer runtime, that comes with 2 chargers, as well as this duty holster, which these sell on their website for like $22. So that's about half of the difference there. So just know that while it is more expensive, it does give you a few more options. And depending on what it is that you're going to be using it for, that could greatly change your opinion on which one of these would be right for you. As I mentioned earlier, this one does seem to be a little bit heavier. One other fact to consider, I like to wear the flashlight in the little flashlight pocket on my tactical pants. This one is slightly thicker than this one, or than a Surefire 6P, and as a result, it's a tight fit in that pocket. This one just fits a little better. That, and that alone, is the reason why I decided to give this one to one of y'all, because I tend to favor this one just because of the size. So now I'd like to know your thoughts on the Smith & Wesson M&P RXP flashlight. Let me know if you've tried one. Let me know if you've thought about trying one. Let me know your thoughts on this flashlight. And if you want to toss your thoughts on the Delta Force MS model on there as well, I'd love to hear it. Until next time, folks, take care, stay tuned, and God bless.